I don't know what happened, dude, to be honest. That just happens to me sometimes when I stream. My internet didn't go out or anything. YouTube just dropped my connection. Or my encoder dropped the connection. Something like that. It happens to me occasionally. Sometimes I can stream for 9 to 12 hours without it happening once. Other times it happens 10 minutes into my stream. There's no real way to control it. No, she's glitched out. It's because I ran away while she was pathing. There we go. Dirty. Yeah, see, she was just glitched. I think my longest stream I'd done was like over 12 hours long.
Vault Hunter, can you use the controls to lower the torso onto the legs?
I couldn't ever imagine doing a 24-hour stream. I'd need to make a room for streaming separate if I was going to do that. That normally too many people around here bother me. I don't want to say bother me, but like my friend Mike next door always comes over every once in a while. We share a lot of our plants. He gives me weird peppers. In exchange for him, I make nice healthy clones and propagate the rare ones for him. I even taught him how to graft so he could fix one of the plants that got snapped by a storm we got. And we grafted the part back on, and it took and started to grow again. Plastic wrap and a giant hair clip. You'd be surprised what you can do with random shit. Oh yeah, that's the glitched guys that are stuck underground. Need Wilhelm to kill them. I'm full of that's what she says. You could say I'm loaded with them. Big old loads. Truckloads. I was gonna say a porn star's name loads, but I think that one would have been too obvious. My game's gonna crash soon as well. Just because I have 385 money as power. I really need to save and quit, and I'm sort of pushing it. I'm really pushing it right now. Because this game on PS4 gets real crashy when you get high stacks of money as power. Oh my god, he is a god. Oh, I have to kill him. He was ascending and I couldn't let him.
Oh, I just came into some money.
That guy was possessed.
I don't want to have my memory wiped. I don't want to turn into... Look, can't you just put a copy of me into the constructor?
Exactly how long will it take to copy you?
A couple of days at the absolute most.
Supersized. I'll take
I'd
you.
like to sit by then. Look, I'm really sorry, kiddo. This is the only way. Vault Hunter, do it.
I guess it's for the best.
There. Now we won't have to worry about it. I was like, should I do it? But it's a really good shield. Has terrible parts, but it's still really good. One of these. Now all I need is a better Chrononova shield. It's not like the damage buff mattered anyways, because I was just gonna flacker her to death. Excuse me. That was.
Stuff. Anything that can help us in a fight. Trash the rest.
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's what you'll get.
I should have spawned my jacks.
Give me another jack.
What? She's still in there? Look, we need that thing
Did you just leave? Lost another turret.
Oh, I can steal some of this tech.
That's good. Now disable it.
You think that will stop me? You're all just scabs to me now. And now you unleash my true potential.
I got a Fwappa-D,
Well, at least it looked tough. Whatever.
right? No, it's a
Now let's see
Fwappa-dur.
what this puppy can bump out. Gladstone, make me some friggin' robots.
One down, one out. Jack here.
Nope, not opening you.
Okay, not bad. But you know what? Appearances do matter. Need a little more? Je ne sais quoi. Let's go with Iberian Yellow. Yes, sir.
You gotta throw down guns for those dudes, because they'll go and they'll pick up the loot that Felicity drops.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you don't.
Awesome.
Should I go ahead
Watch.
and start creating more?
Yeah, you bet your ass. You know what? Come to think of it, other stuff needs a kick in the pants too. Get that down. Up also between names and colors for Hyperion weapons. Alright, I think we're good to go. Come back to Moxie's, we'll get you geared up and ready for the big fight.
See? these are. Thieves.
Mine.
Frosty. Wait, that might actually... Let's get Frosty. Wait. Oh, it's a scab, not a Malawan. Wait, was that spelled correctly? I guess they're trying to say that Australians aren't dumb. I'd agree. American bandits definitely would spell stuff like that. If you went up to a country western, it would be spelled C-U-N-T-R-Y, country. Right? What? There's an O in there? I like watched a video of this kid from whatever country, I can't remember what it was, but they took like the equivalent of a flea comb and put it through this kid's hair, and it was like a dog that was infested with fleas. It was just like one run through the hair, and then they showed the camera, and it was just like the entire thing was just... It's like, how do you even deal with yourself every day with that? Like, I mean, I guess you just get used to it, but still, that's just like, what the fuck? Sorry, I said that because I was moving my hair around.
Here's where it gets fun. Whoa. Alright, here we go, everybody. The jamming signal's down. We've got a robot army. It's time to get back to Helios and turn off that death laser.
Yeah, that's right. Follow me. Look at me, I'm better than you. I'm more Jack than you.
And I'll be cheering you on from the cozy
Jack on a lake.
I don't know how hairy things have gotten up there, so be prepared for anything. Let's go. We'll fast travel up there first. You follow behind.
Nice running animation, my dude. We're running.
If we don't shut that laser down soon, we can kiss this whole moon goodbye.
See you on the other side, kiddo.
What she said.
Let's be heroes.
You may not go, Jack. What? You weren't touching that fast travel station, you dweeb. What's the first raid boss? The only thing I know of being a raid boss in this game, or close to it, is Eclipse and EOS.
Looks like the fast travel split us all up. Doesn't change the plan though. Get to the Eye of Helios command center, shut the laser down without damaging it, save the moon, and Helios can go forever. Sound good? Of course it does.
Oh, are you talking about the Guardian Sentinel?
once Helios is back in Hyperion hands. Have you gone to the station? Dustin is all red and black or a little Graham. That'll be anyway.
Oh wait, I forgot to... Sorry, I want to do this to clear out the rest of the game world. Hey look, a Maggie with a Torg grip. And a Vladimov side. Vladimov. For when you Vladimov. Vladimov.
Oh, I should steal some of this tech.
Vladimov is the name of my cousin. He likes eating dirt. I'm sorry. Grabbing a snack. Squeeze, squeeze. Fly back. Trying to get something to eat. Just snacks, basically. What? There's no way that that can be good for you.
Where is everybody?
Crap, I think we're on the other side of Helios.
Crap. Looks like the fast travel split us all up. Doesn't change the plan, though. Get to the Eye of Helios Command Center, shut the laser down without damaging it, save the moon, and be hailed as a hero forever. Sound good? Of course it does.
What? Springs doesn't have you kill him.
But which one's the real me? Who's a hero?
At least I don't remember it.
Bloody imbalance! Leadership! Good minion!
What do you ask that, Long Duck Dong?
What the hell are you doing? I fired you. And you'll be thanking me once Helios is
I'm
back
always
in.
been on and off with Borderlands.
What have you done to the station? The color scheme is all red, black, or
My shield is out of action!
I have a bunch of other characters I still need to go back and actually finish as well. Or just play on for fun, I guess,
more or less in
too.
one piece. How about you? You holding up?
Like my OP3
Kind of bad about
Creed.
Not bad.
Not OP7 because I refuse to do norms. And I almost made it through the peak. I just died to one of the very last sections. trying to get to, I think it was OP4 or OP, yeah, I think it was OP4 I was trying to get to. Definitely wasn't OP5. Krieg's so hard when you're trying to play him the way I was.
Now you're stuck with that dumb look on your face. Got a badass. Shield my shield! That was graphic. Welcome to the money zone.
Farfig. Nougat. Nougat. You damn nougat.
Good minion.
That was so off.
Not making an ice fun, not this time. Frozen. You need a sweater? Suckers! Reverse engineering! Your sacrifice is appreciated. More handsome. One down, one out.
I need to shoot my other guns empty so I can get max fire rate. Holy shit, dude, really?
I'll drown you to see a chiseled jaws! Jack here, the real one.
Damn you, Jax. I mean, I used to play Monster Hunter. I played 140 something episodes of Monster Hunter. But by the end of it, I was tearing my hair out, so I don't even want to go back to it. I hated everything about what they were doing to it. And I hated the fact every time they did a free title update, it's just one monster with very little significance in its armor set. And it's like, I don't care. I wait until they decide they just want to make shit for fun again. Oh shit.
Which one of you is...
I gotta look at the floor because of how much the recoil moves me up when I'm spamming that fast. That's not a glitch, it's just me doing that. I want to see Krieg again.
Jamming signal or no, this station is mine, Vault Hunter. Yo, she's locked the paths. We can't get to the Eye of Helios. We shut down the jamming signal.
I don't care in what way, I just want to see him again.
Just get back to my office, and we can lower the defenses from there. God, I hate this chick.
I want to know what happens to Krieg in the Borderlands storyline.
Oh, hell. She's focusing the laser.
They need to have a reason to get that voice actor back in that studio to scream some more awesome shit into a microphone. Blood Concerto. Hemophilia. I got a huge hand.
Authorization required. Please step into the scanner. Please press the button to unknown user detected. Authorization denied.
Oh, maybe you can get a claptrap to authorize you. There should be one nearby. And, sorry in advance.
One down, one up.
If you're having trouble with deadlift, I'd recommend, and I was going to answer this earlier, but I forgot to. If you're having trouble with deadlift, just slam into him and keep shooting him in the head. And just keep doing that. I don't know what character you're using, but also always use your action skill. I use a different control scheme in the pre-sequel to jump and aim at the same time. So, that's why it always looks so fluent when I'm moving around, because I can jump and aim without having to move my thumb. So, I put jump on L1, and then I move the action skill to triangle, and then I put weapon swap on X, because I never swap my weapon using the X button. I always swap my weapon using the D-pad, and I do that because I play claw a little bit. I'll just use my pointer finger to select weapons. I'll use my thumb to double shot, that's about it. Call of Duty kids and they're like they're funkin' fancy controllers with like the button arches that go all the way up, and it's like, don't you remember when you could just bind a button to an action? It's like, yeah, just bind L1 to your jump button, and you don't need a fancy button to jump without having to move your thumb off the controller. Dangus.
I think I got it! Somebody, use the scanner, please!
You should be able to beat him easy. Jack is the easiest character.
Meow. My girlfriend's name is Tana.
I got it. Oopsie daisy. I may have messed up the scanner. Give me a little bit more time.
Get a revolver and just keep jumping next to him and slamming next to him and just spamming whenever you lay on the ground. Wow, rude, dude. I wanted to inspect you. This is my favorite one, so I'm gonna let the enemies live while we listen.
Access denied. Scans reveal subject is a racist hot dog.
Get off my lawn, you mouse-punching truxicants! I was sure the racist hot dog workaround would do it.
You moss punching trucks again? If you can find anything shock as well, even though it's very hard to in the first area. Not that it will be important to you until you have a place to grow them, really.
I don't like these truxicants looking at our hamsters.
Again, like I said, it's just... I've said so much that a lot of what I'm saying is stuff I've already said before. Because I've repeated myself so many times. Woo-wee! I'm full of hate. Sorry, I just wanted to listen to all of his dialogue before I killed the enemies. Time to die now, buds. Nice jump, dude.
Gee, I don't know about that. Integration can be kind of dangerous.
Do it or I'll kill you!
Okay.
Leadership!
Integration commencing. User authorized. Have a nice day.
I'm dying. I'm dying.
Awesome.
This is my favorite part of the story so far.
Even Tina hates Claptrap. Everybody loves Tina, so everyone should hate Claptrap.
Oh, you made it to the office? Great. Do me a favor and turn on that fast travel in there, would you?
No, if you want to know something about plants or about gardening, you have to ask me something you'd want to know, because it's hard for me to just get onto a ranting topic.
For now, I need you to take
Sometimes.
that laptop you found and plug him into the security terminal. He can lower the defenses leading to the Eye of Helios laser.
Because I have to try to remember what I have and haven't already just said.
Whatever. Dead, sir.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you wait for Jack to walk all the way over here and open up this door, go inside, he walks to the left side and opens up a chest for you that has stuff in it. He goes, yo!
Jack, my team's pinned down in R&D. We're bloody surrounded.
Sorry, Gladstone, but I
Woo! I'm full of hate.
Vault hunters get to R&D and rescue Gladstone's team. They can hack those defenses for us and open up the way to the yacht. God, I'm smart.
Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you peeping me? What you peeping? What you peep potting? Watch. Yo! I was like, is it not gonna open? Is it gonna do the glitch where it sometimes doesn't fucking open? And he just knocks and then walks away? Because that's happened to me before. He's a troll. He's like, wait for it. Nice. Nice rod. Food. Coffee ain't food. Oh. Oh, wait. Truxican burrito. Is that supposed to be hairs? Skagburger. Yeah, it is supposed to be like little dangle hairs. Wieners. Wiener Schnitzel. Band-Aid fish pizza. Band-Aid fish and pepperoni pizza. Oh, and then it just repeats itself. It's 5 cents for a hot dog. Or for a sandwich. A sandwich must have like 1 slice of meat on it. Whoa, can you not, bud? Oh, that guy was the guy who was killing me. It wasn't that little twerp. Never mind, you are gone.
Sacrifice is appreciated. One down, one out.
Sometimes I miss because I don't compensate hard enough. Whoops. Whoops. Fat fingers.
glad you made it. Come find me.
Scoops.
Be careful, the Torks broke out of their cage. Kill those Torks so we can talk. Now that I think about it, I do remember Gladstone. He helped set up R&D on his own. Hired a team all by himself, made a lot of pretty cool stuff. He's a decent enough guy.
I love this 51 single shot Jacobs. It's like one of the deadliest things on the planet.
Oh, man.
I think I can get you to the Eye of Helios, but I need some help. Three of my fellow scientists got stuck in here when Zarpedon's forces attacked. Sorry. If you can free them, we can lower the defenses leading to the Eye.
Stop saying you're sorry, kid. It's fine. Really.
Right. Sorry. I mean, not sorry. I mean, I'll head back to Jack's office now.
Oh, these things can go invisible? What?
Oh, the stalkers? They got a gland that produces a substance that bends light. Fun little guys.
Close the mast. Holograms active. Back here. Your sacrifice is appreciated. One down, one cut kill was sponsored by Hyperion. Leadership. Good. One back to another. Well done.
Well, I'd love to get out of here, but the soldiers threw stalkers into my office and they took my stuff. I lost a picture of my kid. Did you get it for me? I know it sounds dumb, but I don't think that picture of my son back there. He likes to know I'm thinking of him. He kind of annoyed me, but sweet.
Oh, Dr. Langlois, yeah, he helped design the loaders back when they just carried around boxes and stuff. Smart enough dude. His kid smells like soup, though.
You need a sweater?
What? You're a hacker. How shotgun spread not hit one pellet?
You stay right there, mister.
Hyperion-sponsored DNA detected. Granting access to observation room 11B.
Oh, you found the photo. Cool. Yeah, if I come home without that, my son would have thrown his feces on the wall. you know how 19-year-olds are. Anyway, come on back. I got something for you.
How's your son been doing anyway?
It's great. He's got a girlfriend.
Oh, wow, really?
No, I'm just
Now there's something. I was gonna make a Lewis joke, but I don't think people would have realized it was Lewis at first. From Left 4 Dead. I was gonna say grab some pills, but I'm not. So it would have been not what I was actually doing anyways. If only you could freeze in Borderlands 2.
Could I have that photo, please? Thanks. That ugly face gets me through the day. Here's something for your troubles. I'll open the way for you, but be careful. Lots of baddies on the other side. I'll meet you back at Jack's office. Thanks again. Thanks again for helping me out with that dumb family stuff. See you later, Vault Hunter.
Bye-bye.
See you later, Vault Hunter.
Right. Just rescue the last two scientists and we can get you to the eye laser.
Freaking bees everywhere! I've lost my teddy bear in the lockdown. Without it, bring it back to me. Oh, be careful, those torques are assholes.
Sacrifice is appreciated. Back here. Good minion.
Damn, dude, you kicked my ass. I was only playing one-handed. Sorry.
This'll be good.
My teddy bear's on the other side. I'll let you into the aquarium.
He's on the other side.
So please be careful.
Sorry, I just punched the microphone. I'm trying to fix my hair.
Suckers! Money is power!
Came up with a lot of advancements in marine biology, pressure resistance, stuff like that. I mean, it's not that sexy, but his stuff sounds like hotcakes on the aquamarine planets.
You're almost as good a fake Jack as me! Maybe the body double program wasn't so crazy.
There we go.
Mr. Tassiter, retaking a section of Helios. We're only steps away from taking back the laser and saving Pandora. There's the monster. Yeah, great. I'm calling to tell you that the board has decided to reverse your termination. You have their support.
My controller's analog stick gets stuck forward, so I just roll with it sometimes. Go back to my World of Warcraft days where you just hold right click on your mouse. Or hold both down. Sorry. You hold both the clicks down on your mouse and just spin. Like this. Except I'm doing it in a first person shooter. What happens if you played Borderlands with a steering wheel? Alright, hold on. What do you mean, where am I at? I'm in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. If you mean the area, I'm in research and development on the Hyperion space... The space station. The space station. On the Leptirian Lace Ration.
is appreciated. Thanks, Mother Jack.
If I get close to a fast travel station, I'll just show you.
Good minion. Let's kill some bad guys. Leadership. One down, one up. Got your teddy bear. Heading back now.
Great! I'll let you in! No! Wait! Kill that thing first or I'll die! I hate dying!
Bad guy killed. Man, I'm good.
You're super good at fighting! Jesus! I'll let you in!
I just was holding a right trigger, dude.
Can I have my teddy bear? It calms me down! Ah! Thanks for bringing my teddy bear! I feel way less scared now! I'll let you into the next area!
I don't have many people to read the comments of. A lot of people just read whatever the hell random shit. I've been on a lot of streams myself and said a lot of stuff, but very rarely do they ever, like, acknowledge stuff from people. That's just part about it. Once you get to a certain point, it just becomes hard to deal with separate conversations and then people within your chat having conversations that have nothing to do with what you're having, what you're talking about on the stream. Shit just happens. Sometimes I don't respond all the time either. Sometimes I either don't have my chat open or, like I said, I'm outside smoking a cigarette, so I can't see my chat. Because I don't want to just leave my screen silent for like 5 to 10 minutes, so I bring my mic out with me and just talk while I'm out there about whatever I'm looking at, or whatever I was doing on the game. If it was bothering me, normally that's what I do. I got sick of Monster Hunter also because I got sick of playing with people. I absolutely despise online multiplayer. I do. I used to not, because that's coming from someone who used to play MMOs. But the people who used to play video games on computer back then had some semblance of intelligence, because most of them were nerds. Nowadays, everyone is a quote-unquote nerd, but they're not actually fucking, like, intelligible, like, human beings. They're just idiots who, like, mash buttons on controller, which I can understand. It's hard to, like, for me, and I understand it, and it's why I don't complain about it on YouTube. It's hard to talk and consistently play if you're trying to have multiple thought processes at once, and you're not just instinctually spewing out whatever the fuck is in front of you that's happening in the game. Jolt's dude is pretty good. But again, he's gotten to the point where he's got so many people on his stream regularly, it's gotten hard for him to... He can't respond to everyone in those situations, because then you have no time where you're actually talking and you're just responding, instead of just having stuff of your own. That's why I always like, one of my favorite streams that I watch now is one where there's pretty much, like, no chat interaction, and I watch the Northern Lion Super Show for the most part. And yeah, I mean, they do mention chat and bring up, like, the fact that people will complain, or, like, the bulk of them will be saying something about something. But it's not like they're answering individual people. They always pertain to their own rants and their own talks, or whatever the hell that they were talking about. I don't know, I can't stand when it becomes, like, the streamer becomes as involved in the chat as the chat is. Because then they're no longer streaming, they're just chatting with their chat, pretty much.
Let's get sexy.
Like, if live broadcasting had a live comment feed, it would be completely different. I mean that as in, like, live media broadcasting and stuff like that.
My key card. Grab it, please. Great. Now just let me out here, and I'll head straight to Jack's office so we can lower the Helios defenses.
Oh, I got 420 in the... Never mind.
Well done.
I shouldn't have shot it.
Good minion. Just got 25% more hands up.
I don't care if a YouTuber reads my comments or not. In fact, I'd rather have most YouTubers not read my comments.
One down, one up. Jack here, the real one.
It's impossible for a sane YouTuber to answer every single one. Once your popularity gets to a certain point, you're just spending so much time doing that more than you are other things.
Thanks for the help. Let me uncloak the exit.
Whoa. Nice cloaking device.
Yeah, I made it out of stalker glands for Jack. Even made it look like his pocket watch. Can you give it to him? Whoops.
Do you know how hands work?
Jolts is a good dude. He's the most wholesome streamer that is probably out there still.
We can help you get to the eye laser. I'll meet you back at Jack's. Gladstone, why does Sarpedon still have control over Helios' defenses?
Mostly because he turns his streams into videos as well, so his streams have to maintain some level of professionalism.
No offense.
And it's not just a bunch of shit on your fucking screen that have nothing to do with the game. And I'm not ever going to do that. I'm sorry, I know some people love that shit. Like, this person has just subscribed, or this person donated blah 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 amount of money. And it's like, I don't care. As selfish as this is going to sound, you're coming to my channel, you're coming to watch me. You're not coming to watch yourself put your name on the whatever the hell I'm doing. Like, some people can have that fun. Some people can treat it like they're fucking basically video game porn stars in a way. And it's like, that's great. Love it. All you have to do is go whenever something happens in a video game, and you get fucking $50 because it's a funny, hilarious joke. The guy just goes, "What? Grill of fingers," and all of a sudden, just fucking 1,000 bits just rolling in. So funny. Everyone's just pog champing and doing the, like, what's the other one? There's Dan's games, there's PogChamp, and then there's the other face with the dude going like, hey, that they always use. Well, Jolts was a weird one, because he never was originally super popular with his videos. And he sort of started becoming popular after a lot of the other YouTubers who did it died off.
Hey, Body Double. What's your real name?
Well, I'm legally forbidden to tell you, but, rhymes with Jimothy.
Row and I just fought our
Jimothy.
way across the other side of Helios. Hope you guys didn't have all the fun on this end.
The scientists just shut down the defenses leading to the laser. Got one last thing to wrap up before I send you off, though. Let's go. Oh, hey, cool. Cloaking device, huh?
The lack of other people doing it still.
Yo, you are great. You're great. You guys disabled the defenses leading to the big-ass laser.
I hate calling out names on YouTube because it just leaves you as an open target equally. But it was when, like, people like Man of Low Moral Fiber, Admiral Baru, Gathalion, all of those, and Morning After Kill, I couldn't remember it. And then there's, what's the guy, Demon something, Demonite. He still does stuff, though. And then there's a couple of the other lesser-known people, but they're still sort of doing it today. Whereas the three main ones that everyone knows, like, they sort of stopped because there wasn't new content. And I completely understand why. But that's also why you don't make yourself a single game gamer, in my opinion. Sorry, I forgot to continue doing this.
Airlock sealed. Preparing to vent contents of airlock.
What the hell?
New plan, everybody. Dr. Gladstone here informed me that one of you might still be a traitor working for Sarpedon.
Mike, I said might.
Hundreds of innocent lives are on the line here, kiddos. I just can't take the risk. Shoot me in the back once, shame on you. Shoot me in the back twice.
For whatever reason, Borderlands is a game people like watching. Something about the random loot nature of it always being like a loot box on a constant basis. Again, if this game was more like Borderlands 1 loot drop, it would even be better. Borderlands 1 has the best loot system in terms of giving you different colors and all different versions of legendaries and shit, and then there's still super rare legendaries that are really hard to come by.
Stay here, defend my office. I need to retreat here later.
Sounds like a plan.
Roland, he just murdered...
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you when you get back.
There was a legendary in Borderlands, I think, that wasn't even discovered until like 2 months after it came out. I can't remember the name. I think it was called like the Reaper.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever you say, sir.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. People like watching it.
Right. Yeah. Just get to the other end.
It's also just because of the notable characters. They really fucked themselves in the ass by killing off a lot of their notable characters. If Borderlands 3 isn't good, I guarantee you people will come back to this shit. It'll be just like Dark Souls, where you have a never-ending split community. This game's better. No, this game's better. What's the best Souls-like game? Even though Souls-like is a genre for people who don't understand anything about gaming.
I don't know.
That's
I just work here.
people who call stuff Souls-like are people who started gaming post 2008. Or they're people who played only shit like Call of Duty up until that point. Because I find it hard to believe that there was such a select, small group of people that played third-person action games like I did. I mean, the games had to have. More games got made. It's just always fucking bothered me. I don't know. Honestly, I get really peed off with fucking Gearbox. And I get peed off with video game communities nowadays because people are just retarded and have no concept of what is and isn't copying. What is inspired by and what is like you blatant fan. Sorry, I'm like having indigestion because of all the stuff I ate. And then horking down half of a Pepsi. Taking big loads. Horking them down. Big old pig boy. I wish I was a pig. Then I'd be bacon. And bacon is life. I put rendered bacon fat in my eyeballs every morning. It's how I clean my pores out. Sorry, I went out for a smoke, so I won't be able to see the chat for a little bit. Borderlands 3 will either be really good or be terrible because they missed the point. Like Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3 missed the point. The things that made Dark Souls 1 unique are being lost in time to that company because of what the community keeps perpetuating as being the things that make the games good. Something in my freaking shoe, man. What is it? In my sock. It's probably in my sock. Is that it? There's a cicada over there. Just one cicada. Either that or it's a huge cricket, but the crickets don't have that drone. That's like a drone and it goes on for like 30 plus seconds. We had some cicadas hatch by our maple tree. I was holding one in my hand a couple weeks ago. Really, really strong, but not very smart. Their little hook feet. Feel like they're biting you as they move, but they don't. If they bit you, you'd know, because they have a proboscis. And that thing's like a needle. Though I don't think they eat, if I remember correctly. The proboscis is just left over from the nymph, which look like crabs. They have little crab claws. Cloudy and the wind is blowing. When I go in, I need to go to the bathroom. We got a little pumpkin developing, but not very big. I think that's because the plant was initially started in a pot, because I thought it was a smaller pumpkin variety, but it turns out to be one of the larger ones. Has leaves bigger than your head. It has a small pumpkin on it. It's probably getting close to about 1.5 pounds, maybe a couple pounds now. I have it propped up on some cloth so that it keeps in a nice, perfect cylindrical shape. I wanted to see how that would work. Normally I just put something hard underneath them. But yeah, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. I like growing different things though. Sometimes I buy ornamental plants just to see what they'll do. You get those plants at like the Walmart grow section that are in a cup for like a 50% or 75% off. And I'll take them, untangle a bunch of the roots, throw some rooting hormone on it, so that even if the roots are tangled, they can develop new ones really easily. And then I stick it in the ground and gently fill in the soil around the roots, because if you tangle the roots up when you put it in the ground, you're pretty much fucking the plant just as worse as it was in the cup that it was in at Walmart. A plant's root system is about as extensive as the top half of the plant when it's little. I've talked about that before, but that's something not a lot of people know. Tomatoes and peppers are like that. When a tomato seedling is really small, like less than a few inches tall, it's already got a 3 to 4 inch long tap root that's probably hitting the bottom of the cup, if not already wrapping itself. And that's why I only start my tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that in really tall cups. Water bottles with the top just barely cut off, stuff like that. Poke some holes in the bottom of it to allow for airflow. Fill with a really loose potting soil, and you can start seeds really easily in that. Seeds that have tall tap roots that don't like getting their taproot blocked by a hard substance. Again, tomatoes and stuff like that, they hate that with their root system. You will know if a tomato plant transplant was bad because you will get incredibly stunted growth comparative to your other ones. If you plant like 3 or 4 of the same species of plant, especially if you make clones like I do. I also learned it from propagating, not to put the stem all the way to the bottom so that the bottom part can actually turn into a good little root ball. Use tall cups for that as well. If you use too small a cups, it won't get enough roots. And if you stick it too far down to the bottom, the roots only develop sidewards and not down. I noticed this because the clones that I put out in the soil that were just in the garden soil, because that's a lot of the time how I propagate my tomatoes, is I will literally just cut a branch off. I'll cut a sucker that's gotten too big that I didn't notice or something. I'll cut it off and I'll just dig a small hole and I'll stick the stem like 3 to 4 inches into the ground. Pinch off any of the leaves that are going to be put underneath the dirt so that they don't rot on the plant and induce stem rot. Because you want the stem to just callus and then send out roots, which tomato plants do naturally when the branches hit the ground. Tomato plants are meant to be vines, but we don't grow them as vines. We try to keep them nice and straight. So if you don't, and you just let them sprawl across the ground, they'll throw roots out everywhere the thing touches the ground. The stem touches it even slightly, it's going to send a root into the ground and anchor itself, and then flip up again until it gets like 2 to 3 feet tall and then fall over. Sometimes even breaking in the process. That's why you support tomato plants. Alright. Excuse me.
Reverse engineering! Oh, I should steal some of this tech.
The only main difference between tomatoes and peppers and or eggplants as well is their ability at sending out advantageous roots. Peppers don't really do that. Peppers are more woody, and they prefer to just stand up as their own plant. They don't really need support. You don't really see people trellising pepper plants because they're much more stouter, stronger, and they don't really need it because their fruits aren't full of water. Tomatoes, even tiny cherry tomatoes, an entire cluster of cherry tomatoes can sometimes weigh more than a couple pounds, and that's a lot of weight if you're not training your plant properly to encourage like thick stem growth. If you grow tomatoes, my biggest tip will be go to Home Depot or your local Lowe's or whatever you have for a hardware store that can cut you some fresh posts, or if they have posts already there that are 8 foot. 8 foot to 10 foot posts that you hammer into the ground are the best. Alternatively, because 8 to 10 foot posts are really hard to hammer into the ground because you need a step ladder to do it, you can get 2 5-foot posts. And what you do is you hammer 1 5-foot post, or sorry, you would need 6 for what I'm doing. You need 6 5-foot posts, or 3 8-foot to 6-foot posts, whatever you want to manage. A tomato plant, properly supported and cared for, can grow well over 10 feet tall though. So, it depends on how hard you want to push it, really. My indeterminate cherry tomato plant that I have, that I always talk about, is getting close to that height. It's almost taller than my entire porch. Even the metal roof over it it's getting almost to the top of that. It's a huge plant. People can't believe that it's a tomato plant. And I tell them every single time, it's just like, it just really, really likes being in between those roses and irises for whatever reason. There's just something about the way that those plants work together that really goes well. They go hand in hand, I guess you'd say. Because I've grown a lot of tomato plants in gardens, and I've seen them grown in raised beds and in other people's yards. None like that monstrosity. It's way past my trellises at this point. But yeah, the method for taking 2 5-foot trellises, because I sidetracked myself like I always do. You hammer 1 to the ground, and then you get some really thick twine. Or not really thick, it can be like it can be thin twine too. You just want it to have a decent tensile strength. Because what you're going to do is have someone, or if you're by yourself, you can get a pair of vice grips, like big vice grips or a monkey wrench, and clamp it so that it's holding the fence post in place. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wrap 2 5-foot fence posts together with about a foot being lost in the connection, because you want a decent amount of space where you're wrapping it to make sure that the post doesn't give it all, or bend, or wither away in weather. So you want to wrap that really tight, and what that allows you to do is the 5-foot post that you hammered in, you can hammer that in like a foot or 2 into the ground, and then when you stick the other one on top of it, you end up with a 7 to 6-foot trellis that's really fucking sturdy, that wasn't very difficult to put into the ground. Because that's how I am. I'm a really short dude. I'm just barely under 5'3", so I'm not a big dude, and the plant is so much bigger than me, it's not even funny. I can't reach the top of the plant to pollinate it anymore, so I have to use a step stool to reach the top. So I can pollinate the flowers. I'm making sure every flower gets pollinated and not a single one drops off. If the flower doesn't get pollinated properly, you won't get fruit and the flower will just drop right off. That being said, tomatoes pollinate very easily and only need a slight brush of the flower to make them get pollinated because they're self-pollinating. Oh, alright, man. I'll see you next time. Sorry, I didn't see that at first.
For you on your map.
Reverse engine.
I'm turning on some worker bots to help you out.
I didn't boost early enough.
They'll lead you out of the hull.
Alright, no, I'm fine. Around here we have a mailman. We don't even have a mail truck unless it's something delivered specifically by a mail company. Most of your normal mail is delivered by a mailman. And every time the dude comments about how much bigger the stuff gets in my yard. Then there's a guy who runs a taxi service around here. And my friend who was taking the taxi as he was coming over happened to get into a conversation about his plants with the guy who was actually driving the taxi. And it turns out the guy is like huge into gardening, so he was like showing his pictures and everything to this guy. And then when he got here, because the dude didn't have anyone else to do for the rest of the night, like he was pretty much done, he just stayed around and like chatted for a little bit. Cool dude for a taxi driver.
Welcome to the money zone.
Especially when you're a taxi driver in a town like where I live. Because you get to know pretty much everyone.
Troops in central maintenance. You're gonna have to fight your way through.
The dude was showing me pictures of his plants and was trying to ask me like what the different problems might have been. And like most gardeners, he was showing me like, oh, the plant has like one leaf with like a marbling on it, and if he should be worried. And I tell the dude, like, do you see the entire rest of the plant afflicted with it? It's probably just something bit it in that one zone really funny, and the plant had a harsh reaction to it. I told him you can take it off, but a perfect looking plant is just more susceptible to a pest than one that looks like shit. I shouldn't say looks, but most of those kinds of pests don't look at their food. But they can taste the difference in the sugars on healthier plants, and they'll just go back to a healthier plant. Even bees will do that. Bees will tend to pollinate more healthier plants than the worst looking ones. They'll pollinate the good looking ones first. Because they most likely have the most amount of pollen and the freshest nectar.
Your sacrifice is appreciated. One down, one up. Jack here, the real one. That kill was sponsored by Hyperion. Wow! Give a foot! Your sacrifice is appreciated. Let's get some of that done. Leadership!
That tunnel leads right to the laser. Keep going. Push through those Christian defenses. You're almost out of here.
Your sacrifice is appreciated. Who needs it?
Detonate the charges, now!
Down, one up. Your sacrifice is appreciated.
Oh, are you okay? You alright?
Still feeling pretty good, physically, if not morally.
Oh my god, the red glitch just killed me.
Okay, what about this? If we set off a chain reaction in the plasma conduits, it'll blow a hole in the station. You can climb through to reach the laser. You'll have to destroy the plasma regulators. Find them and break them.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Did I hear you right? Blow a hole in the station? What are you...
Yeah, that sounds crazy irresponsible, huh? You should probably fire me. Oh, wait!
Bye-bye. Money is power. Money is for losers. How did I not get the checkpoint on the other side? Horse shit. I'll take a shortcut then.
Leadership! Your sacrifice is appreciated. Leadership! Your sacrifice is appreciated. Down, one out.
Some explosive decompression. Try not to get sucked out into space. That's one down. Kill the other one and I can blow some stuff up.
Multiply the prettiness.
Signal me and I'll blow open a path to the laser.
This thing just does so much damage. Not even when it's glitched. It's just... It's only level 51. I can't imagine what a level 61 would be like. What about it makes it so good? I don't get it. It's gotta be the Jacob's grip, right? That's how valuable a Jacob's grip is.
Hyperion forever. I should steal some of this tech. I'll give you something to shoot at. Let's kill some bad guys.
Oh my goodness. My gosh golly garshness.
Awesome. Let's do this. And a 1, and a 2, and a... Wait for it. Skadoosh. Pretty fun to mess stuff up with reckless abandon, gotta say. The path's clear now. Get to the laser.
Something wrong?
Make your way to the command center, Sugar. You might be able to shut the laser down from there.
I need to test the loaders.
The God gun.
Hiding around his maintenance spots. Ignore him. Uploaded the gun program to the hidden loaders. Feel free to activate a few to test it out.
Ooh, someone else had... A challenger approaches.
Go ahead and power up that fast travel and I'll let you in.
Ready whenever you are.
Righto, on my way.
What's up? Follow me, we got a world to save. That's the thing that'll destroy the moon? What's powering it? Oh, it's just, you know, stuff. Normal. Shut it down. Okay, inside the laser is a core reactor that makes it all work. Log on to the control systems and try to shut it down remotely.
I don't know why I was doing that. Look at the pellets, though.
Sounds like you'll need to shut it down the old-fashioned way, with your hands.
Ah, she's right. Get over here. You gotta get down to the laser core and shut her down manually. Good luck.
I'm having a stretch.
So many skills, so little patience for people.
Damn it. Yeah, my skill tree was glitched out before. That was weird. I gotta stop being retarded.
Vault hunters aren't born, they're spec.
At this point, I'm just doing it for fun. No, I'm gonna actually set it to what I want this time. No more silent goofing.
I'll give you something to shoot at. Let's kill some bad guys. One down, one up. Wonderful.
Actually, I'm pretty tired. So I think I'm going to call it here. Sorry my stream got crashed and interrupted because it would have been a little bit longer, but it's just 2 short streams now. Whatever. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Peace out.